morning, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well today. Normally, I've been pre-recording. Hey, Magic, good morning. Sherry, hello. Normally, actually, as of late, I've been pre-recording my Saturday sit reps because I'm just so doggone busy during the week that Saturdays is when I get all my chores and stuff done, and I just get up in the morning, get the dogs out, and off I go. And today I kind of had one of those weird Saturday mornings where I didn't have anything that needed me to run right out the door. So I figured I'd come and spend some time with all of you. And sorry about the voice. We had this weather change. We were 88 day before yesterday. We're 72 yesterday. I woke up this morning was 27. And that big change in temperature and humidity and everything, it just absolutely wrecked my sinuses. So the dogs liked it. It was nice and cool outside. They ran around and riled up all the dogs in the neighbors' yards and then came inside because, their job was done. 29 there. Oof. But it's nice. Hey, Rapture Ready. Good morning. Um, yeah, it's 29's nice if it's not blowing wind and snow. It's sunny out. It's actually a really pretty day. It's just cold, but it's not very windy, so it's not cutting through you. It's just chilly. So, I dug up my old, those of you who've been in the service would recognize this, my old fleece. Technically, it's supposed to be the undergarment, but these are warm as holy hell. Like, they don't look it, but they are. Oh, what is this? I never really played with that before. Okay. What I do like about them, if you can get these surplus, I'd recommend you do so because they have a little button snap here right along the top collar, and you can actually put a little hood on them. So, as you can see, I got a pile of stuff back there. Hey, good morning, Indigo. Hey, Rescue, how are you? I'm trying, man. Uh, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, we had a lot of young team members. I'm one of the older ones because the really old guys that have been around, 35 plus years, when the Rona hit, they all took their retirement packages and they were gone, right? So you have a bunch of, 50-year-old guys, like a handful of us, and then everyone else is under 34 and they have little kids. So, but the young ones are mobile, right? So one got a job with another company, which was really good for him. Another one, she's getting transferred. So we're starting to see the young ones move, but they didn't backfill fast enough. So now it's just me basically in my role between, if you think of the map of the US between Dallas and Denver, that whole swath of America, all the cities they're in from the north to the south, I'm the only guy in my job role covering that territory right now. So fortunately, I got a good support team. So now I'm directing traffic, but it gets busy. I was with my laptop till about 8 last night. I was on my eating dinner, had a laptop here, second glass of wine. I was like, screw it. If they call me and I'm half drunk, that just sucks. I don't care. Um, Apparently, I'm very functional when I have wine, so that's a good thing, I guess. Um, hey, Redleg, what's going on? I owe you. We need to talk, and I can't remember what it was we were supposed to talk about, but I know you and I in Cold War, and there was someone else were supposed to meet us somewhere. We're supposed to meet up for coffee. We never decided what city to meet. I'm thinking Waco might not be a bad one, or maybe Alvarado. I'll email you later. That'll be fun. So, for those of you not in Texas, a lot of the Texas prepper channels have been in touch in the background, and we're all trying to figure out where we're going to meet and do like a coffee shop live or something. Basically, take over a corner of a coffee shop somewhere. So, hey, good morning, Vision. And Vision will be doing a camp out up in his state in the next month. Vision, you can throw the date in there. I can't remember, man. I'm sorry. No worries, Sherry. Thank you for hopping in. I know Saturday is when we get stuff done. Hey, Shad. Always a good time to see you. Uh, Kentucky, hello, Beth. Beth. Waco Woodwork. See, we can bring the wives too. Let the girls run off and do Waco things, and we can go find somewhere to hide. Um, Waco's a pretty town too. Uh, there's some really nice towns. Unfortunately, Waco got really expensive. You're 76 over there? Hey, Joe. Good morning, man. Good morning, Ark. 76. I'm 20. I was 27 degrees. Now I'm 30. Oh, it's May. It's next year. Sorry, I was like in the completely wrong quarter. Yeah, Vision will be having a gathering. Ooh, I might have a bunch of service members who are also business colleagues. We'll be setting up a hunting camp for our company around that same time. Oh, that'd be cool if we did a live stream with two groups of idiots, one a group in Ohio and one group down in Texas. That would be fun. It's really early on my end to know that for sure, but hey, what's going on, Moonsbro? 42. 42 is not bad. 45. It was 29 here when I woke up, but it was no wind. It was just, it was very light breeze. There was a very light breeze, so it was cold, but like a comfy cold, you know. So this is what I was showing the folks who came in early. This is what I got in my closet. Those of you who served have had different colors of this. You all remember the fleece my wife catches? I don't know what she did with. I think she gave them to my son. Blah. Anyway, this is ancient. I do love these things. I can't find the hood, so if those of you who did serve know where the hell I find the hood without buying it from China, let me know. Hey, Glenn. Glenn, it was a last minute thing this morning. I normally, lately, I've been pre recording my Saturday sit reps and I'll post them the night before. Hey, Loretta. So you guys get the notifications. It's in the algorithm. This one I literally set up 10 minutes ago. 70 degrees on Long Island. That is hot for November. God, I remember driving down Coffee. Is it the Southern State Parkway that Robert Moses built? And it has those low bridges and those really hard turning uh, exits because when they built it, it was for the rich people and they didn't want buses to be able to fit under the bridges so they wouldn't get poor folks out there, which is silly because now all the minivans are tiny anyway. But there's a highway that runs along Long Island. I think it's the Southern State Parkway. And the bridges are so low, if you go through them in a pickup truck, it freaks you out because you think you're going to hit the thing. Yes. Okay. So I was right. Yep. I grew up out there, Coffee. That's why I know that. God, I used to, we used to go to Greenport on the North Fork, and we'd hang out in that little town, and there's a campground out there. My dad and I'd go. Uh, Best memories of my childhood were me basically getting chased out of the park for causing mischief. But it was fun, you know. We didn't do anything really bad. We were just tearing stuff up and being little boys and girls. And then the ranger would come out and tell us it's not what you do, so we'd flee. Oh, by the way, there are a lot of new channels, so hold on a second. Hey, good morning, Van City. How are you? If you guys mods, oh, Shad's already started. Um, since I don't have a guest today. If you want to post any content creators, if you have a channel but you're not making anything, don't post. But if you're starting or you're videoing, actually putting out little videos or big videos, let one of the mods know, and we'll throw your link out there so you guys can kind of at least get a kickstart to your channels. By the way, I saw Northern Girl Hobbies put Nightbot on her chat, and within the first 30 minutes, it gave her a warning, even though she's the owner. It shushed me for 10 seconds. It kicked Hudson off. And like all the regulars, we all got kicked off. And just Nightbot was on a tear. So I make lackluster content. No, Joe actually has made some really good firearms videos. But I think, Joe, you have to put a disclaimer like this has firearms, and then I'm going to curse out the wazoo on this one. Um, but yeah, hey, good morning, Mama Red. But yeah, Nightbot was being a complete douche, and it just kicked everyone off. I was just hysterical. So we started texting Northern Girl after, saying, "Dude, what happened?" And she's like, "I don't know. It kicked off like one of her best friends. It was just randomly beating people up." So yeah, man, that's right. Chad was in there. It was. I'm afraid to put Nightbot now. It's all organic. Well, poo's organic, Joe. That doesn't help. It's all organic. Gotta watch this guy. He was Nightbot the Terminator. I'm already being shadow banned for what I'm guessing is the content of my comments. I could see that because the algorithms don't understand sarcasm or dark humor versus, like, say, something racist or something really blatantly ugly. So it just sees certain words and says, "We don't like you." And then a little Nightbot's ass comes over, out you go. Uh, oh, hey, my mother, Spark. Good morning. So, folks that were really the news, I got to go to a political watch party on election night, and I got to see my local Congress people, one of whom's a military vet, and the other one's a local energy sector executive. And the executive, the energy sector guy, I personally know, and he's my state congressman. And then the federal congressman, Congressman Pfluger, he was in there as well. And the showing was really good. Uh, and then we sat there and watched Fetterman beat Oz, and we're sitting there going, "What? How did?" But then it turns out. So I asked the congressman, I'm like, "What happened up there?" Because Oz was a good candidate, and he said that the governor candidate in Pennsylvania, it wasn't Pfluger, it was someone else told me this. The governor candidate was way out there, so people were angry at him, and it like took everyone down on that side of the voting board, which was just sad. Tube is putting out a new no-no list. Seriously, a good way to kill a small channel. Yeah, unfortunately. Thank you, Shad. Okay, true story, Van City. I went to Calgary for a business meeting, and we usually have a rule amongst the guys and girls in the sector. We go out, we go to dinner. When the sun goes down, it's time to go to the hotel room. I was in Calgary in the middle of summer or spring, and we're out, and we went from restaurant to restaurant. We went to see this band. We're out with clients and colleagues, and big business thing. And the guy from Louisiana goes, "Good Lord, I'm tired. I must be getting old." And so I'm picking on him because he's tired. I was tired, and then I look at my watch. It's 11:30 p.m. and the sun's still out. And I'm like, "Dude, it's 11 o'clock. Like, we need to go home, or we're gonna be garbage at 7 a.m." And he goes, "Holy crap!" So we all go to our hotel. So yeah, if you ever go out drinking in Calgary in the summer, the days go on forever. Um, so yeah, set a timer. I was much younger then. If I did that now, I think I wouldn't even show up the next day. I'd be done. Now, snowing in Bloomington. See, but you get nice snow in Indiana. I get that ice lasagna snow crap. And then people crash because they forget that snow is wet and, it makes you crash. Yeah, Vent City, though, you do know what I'm talking about when you get those days that the sun is still up at 10 p.m. And yeah, yeah, we're like that out here. We were 85, 86. It was balmy. A long sleeve like this, I was not feeling awesome in the afternoon. And then yesterday was like 72. It was nice. And we woke up this morning, it was 28 out in West Texas. So gonna be ice snow lasagna later here today. See, and that's dangerous. So, hey, Mary Misfit. Oh, in Wisconsin, yes. You guys will get that Pacific effect, and then you get the lake effect snow as you keep going west to east. See, I don't understand how Florida and Texas were able to process millions of votes, like 4 times more than Arizona. So Arizona, I was reading about that. because of what happened in previous elections. Do you remember in 2000 when Bush beat Gore? It was the hanging Chad, and Florida was the embarrassment of America, right? They spent millions of dollars. They put people in place, and their system's really fast. And Texas and Florida were in cahoots, and they're like, "Oh, we can do that too." And when Arizona had their issues, instead of getting more modern, they got more antiquated. So they can vote like 3 weeks before the election or a month before the election, but they don't count those votes until election day, right? So they have 300,000 votes come in, either mail in or early voting, and they sit on them. And then they get, 2 million or whatever million more, and then they put them in this big pile, but then they count these. Then they don't start this group until this group is done, and they have to check the signature and validate. And Texas will allow mail-in voting, but you have to go through a process. But voting in person, super simple, right? Because they even have buses you can call, and the state provides them in some counties. You bring your ID. It can be a VA card, driver's license, passport, social security with county ID, whatever it is. They scan you in, you sign, and then you get a ballot ticket. You literally get this paper thing. It's probably about 12 inches long. Hey, take care, Glenn. Be safe. Oh man, 300,000. See, that's silly. Oh no, you can keep that, man. So you're like literally at negative something Celsius right now. I'm trying to do the math in my head because it's 1.8 plus 32 to get to Fahrenheit. So I'm trying to subtract 32. Yeah, you're like negative what, 10 over there? Or am I doing the math wrong? The icy weather makes my bones. The rep started the voting machine. Yeah, it's all garbage. And it's not super impressive, I'll be honest. Uh it's sad too because yeah, Kentucky, that's a good point. And there are a lot of folks who dedicate their time, volunteer to help the process because regardless of where you vote, how you want the vote to go well. Okay, I was thinking negative 10, so I was a little off. Um, but yeah, so in Texas, you get like this 8-inch paper and it has your barcode, your name, your barcode, and it's blank. And then you put it in the voting machine, you click all your selections, and then it prints out your ballot, and you have a physical paper that shows who you voted for. And you can look at your ballot and make sure it matches. And then you go to the counting machine, which is a separate machine, and you put your ballot in there, it goes cha-ching, and it says, thank you for voting. But it puts the paper ballot in a little bin that's secured under the machine. So it electronically counts, but it has a paper copy. And it just, I mean, we were able to count up everything. They had some delays because one county, the truck broke down that was bringing ballots in. So DPS had to send a tow truck and someone else, and then the state trooper escorted the van or the contents to whatever destination. But it was cool. Most of the ones they're having to count now are the ones from ones of hardware that didn't seem to work. So mostly, yeah, yeah. It's well, having the paper backup. I get the machines make it more efficient, but the paper backup definitely is good because then a recount is very easy, right? Because you physically have these clearly printed ballots that reconcile to people's names. So you can scan it and it pulls up the person. Like you scan 123, it pulls me up, and they can even, if they're doing an investigation, they can check with me, like, hey, did you vote this way? Is this legit? And you can verify what you did. But yeah, it's frustrating to say the least, folks. It's I gotta tell you, it is I just hope that they can get things to where people have a little more faith. What I do like is I'm seeing a little bit more, aside from the screwballs on the coasts, you're seeing a lot more of the middle of the road people on both sides. So, like the middle of the road Republicans and some of the more middle of the road, like the old style ag and small business Democrats, I'm starting to see them get voted in. And that I'm okay with because if they're a little closer to the middle, they'll talk to each other. It's these idiots way off in these fringes here. Uh, oh yeah, it's a good thing nothing is out of God. No, for sure. And it's not a bad thing. Maybe it'll make the other parties pay attention. True, true. It's you just got to have faith that something or someone greater than us may be influencing what we're seeing. Uh, so I normally read my State Department reviews, and I'm looking at them, and right now Africa's having a lot of problems. um, it's a it's really a mess there. God, I'm looking. So let's see. So Chad is filing an international criminal court case. The opposition leader is trying to sue the incumbent military council for war crimes. What do we have? I think they've gotten so specialized, Mother Sparks. So you had like Democrat, Republican, and then you have the Green Party, which is purely environmentally driven. You have I guess we had the Tea Party, but they never became a formal party. You have Libertarian, which is kind of a weird hybrid of ideas that says we want smaller government, but if you want to smoke pot in your house, I don't care. Obey the law. It's a little more back to the roots of constitutionalism, depending on how you look at it. You have some that are off on the right, which are more, you know, pro 2A, pro business, others that are anti whatever, and they start breaking into little parties. It's really, really weird. Hope everyone done better in your local. Oh, wow. No, we did good out here. Like, we got an energy sector lady for mayor. I got to meet the sheriff who like cruised to reelection at the party, the county sheriff. Um, both congressmen were incumbent. They both won again easily. I'm trying to think who county judge was. The local judges were up. The county judge was not because he goes up for a reelection in the next one. Um, they pretty much all won, and most of them out here are very much uh, very much law and order types, so I can live with that. Hey, Mad Dog. Good morning. What's going on? Democrat Socialist Commune. Actually, Rapture, if you haven't, look at my video where I actually read. You may have been in the chat when I read from the Communist Manifesto, like what their 10 principles are, because it would blow. It's like the 10 anti-commandments. So they say, we shouldn't have families because families are how wealth is passed down from generation to generation, which is how aristocracies are made, which in the 1800s made sense when this was put together. But at the same time, it says, well, women have a duty to create workers for society. So, like, if you have a socialist country and all the folks who are like, yeah, I'm pro, ending pregnancy, if you get what I'm saying, in a socialist country, they may say, well, you know what? We need more workers. So now you don't have that option. We will tell you when you can or cannot. And it can go completely down a terrible pony road under that kind of government. So, hey, Willow Way. Hello. Yeah, I encourage everyone to buy it and read it. And some of the English, when they translate it over, is very old English, 1800s and early 1900s English, which we don't use a lot of the words now. But yeah, for the government, for the leaders. Um, if you read Animal Farm, there was a workhorse. One of the characters was a horse, and he always was saying, oh, well, our leaders are taking care of us, our leaders this, our leaders that. And he worked until he got old. And then they had this big parade for him and sent him to the glue farm anyway, even though they told the other citizens he was going out to pasture to live his days. He went to the glue farm. Uh, yeah, that's the kind of government ultimately that you get. Started a new channel. We'll add my first post tomorrow. Okay, cool. If you want to, Astatine, if you want to put your, like, what your genre is it prepping, politics, or you cover mix of news? Just throw it out there so folks can say hi and check it out once you post. Who else do we have in here? Wait, somebody snuck in on me. Moonsprouts is in here somewhere. Hey, Moonsprouts, I don't know where you are, but hello. Oh, there. Hola. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. But anyway, yeah, Africa's having a lot of issues with instability, and the Middle East is kind of going the other way. Other than Afghanistan, which is a bit of a mess right now, they're trying to normalize themselves because they know with the world's governments trying to push alternative energies, they're not going to have the leverage with oil and gas they used to have. So, like, Dubai is pitching themselves in the international community as the finance and business mecca of the Middle East, of the central part of the world. And that's why Dubai has all these big hotels and towers and buildings and resorts. They want to, like, basically be the Morocco, the New York of that part of the world, which is a smart play. While they have the money from oil and gas, they're creating this amazing infrastructure, desalination plants, the whole nine yards. Um, Thank you, Rapture Ready. I appreciate it. Um, Thank you, Van. Uh, oh yeah, that's a good point. So they recently reported that the inflation and consumer price index actually dropped a little bit, and so everyone was kind of excited about that. That is a good thing, but keep in mind the interest rates right now are hovering between 7.5% to 8%. They were above 8, almost to 9 last quarter. But the interest rates 3 years ago were in the 1 to 2% range for major purchases like a home mortgage. So is it better? Yes. But is that simply a quirk in the market? Or is that like they're being effective with what they're doing? Or is that a quirk in the market? Right now, the only person actually trying to engage the inflation are the people at the Fed. And I don't know if they exactly know what they're doing. I kind of understand what they're trying to do, but I don't give credit to Congress or the White House because I think all of them are useless. All of these potatoes up there, they're not doing anything useful. And it's basically a bunch of bankers trying to prevent the entire system from coming undone. So, hey, take care, Rapture. Gotta make donuts. Oh, you absolutely have to post a video about that. And amen, you be good out there. Be safe. But yeah, to Mad Dog's point where I was going with the inflationary and the interest rate, just because everything dropped off doesn't mean it's going to get better in the coming quarters. Remember, we're still eating canned food that was harvested before the Ukrainian war, when all the supply chain even got worse than it was during the Rona. So we're not going to see the effect of all these floods in the Middle East, like in Pakistan, the shortages in India, the stuff that's happening here in the US and Canada with the heat and the loss of ranch land and all that. That's going to hit us next year. So Q1, Q2 is where I expect we're going to see those delayed effects of the supply chain, the lack of farming. You're going to see the increased costs of the fertilizer. So now's a good time to start to go through your inventory while you're doing your cleanup for Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah. Um, go through uh, go through your pantries and use up stuff that needs to get used. Right, this is a great time to do it because you're probably going to cook a bunch of food anyway. Use up those cans, cycle them through, and then inventory while you're doing that and see what is it that you're lacking. Because I think, yeah, India did stop exporting rice. No, and there are a lot who do. It's not all of them, but unfortunately, the greedy ones are the ones that seem to move up and become committee chairs and speakers of the House, etc. And they're not helping us. I absolutely agree with you. Only a mechanical engineer can save it. I don't know. There's that's super complicated, Big B. Actually, I got to sit in. It was 4 years ago. I sat in on a geologist who was talking about how we're trying to control the climate, and actually, we may do more harm if we're not careful. And he agreed, we need to cut pollution and cut chemicals in the ozone and all that stuff. That wasn't his argument. What he's saying is the the Mississippi River has moved back and forth, and he said they took cores. So for those of you unfamiliar, hey Nunya, they take a drilling rig, but instead of trying to produce, they drill a hole and then they take this hollow like earth grabber. I can't describe it. Goes on the drill pipe, and they drill it into the hole and they pull out sections of rock. He said they found cypress stumps and Native American artifacts in some of these cores 200 feet below New Orleans. So at one point, and then they found evidence of fish where Baton Rouge is now, 200 feet down. So he said the Mississippi actually, how Louisiana makes a letter L and the Mississippi kind of pours out of the front end of the letter L? Um, at one point, the Mississippi went straight down through what is now Baton Rouge, Lafayette area, and it came out there. And then nature, hurricanes, they don't know what, geological forces turned the Mississippi to where it is now. Now we're trying to keep it there, and it keeps flooding New Orleans because it wants to go back the other way. There's even speculation that the Nile River, which right now we all know kind of flows north to south, at one point ran east to west across the north of Africa, which is why Carthage was such a big city at the time and kept picking fights with Rome, or Rome fought with them. Because remember when Rome, in the old books, when Rome attacked Carthage, which is where Tripoli is, North Africa now, they reported refilling their water in the river. But there's no river there today. But there was one. And so they're speculating that geology, geography, tectonic movement changes the world. Yeah, depending where you are, that's correct. So what I'm saying is not that, we don't need to take care of the environment, but some of the decisions they're making, I don't think they're looking at all the science. People are cherry picking on both sides. And unfortunately, we're the ones who are going to get hurt, which was kind of awful, but so East Asia and Pacific, thousands rally for justice after Indonesian stadium tragedy. Thousands of people were demanding justice and a thorough investigation after stampede at a soccer stadium. What the hell? Every time they have a big soccer game somewhere in Europe and Asia, they stampede and freak out, and like 100 people die. Now, granted, we go and riot in Los Angeles and flip cars over, so I guess that's not much better, but they don't trample each other. So that's, hey, prepping survival. Good morning. Let's see. Uh, Philippines are 3 soldiers and 3 members of the Islamic Liberation Front called MILF. I can't make this stuff up. More, I gotta put this up because just the name. Oh God, this is the Manila Times. Hold on. I hadn't pre-read this before I hold on. Let me see if I can get it rolling here. I don't know, whoever, if it'll open up there we go. So let me see. Ta-da. Oh, come on now. Okay. Zamboanga City So, and again, for mid-level issues, at least 3 Army soldiers, 5 members of 4 rebel Auto Islamic, aka MILF, were sorry, that's terrible. Killed in fierce clashes that erupted in the southern Philippine province of Basilan. And they're talking about, they've been having civilians flee their homes, etc. That's a bummer. And yes, hunger stones are showing up everywhere. It goes back to what I was saying before, Nanya. It's a cycle. And now, are humans contributing to making things worse? Yeah, definitely. I mean, people can't even pick up the damn Pampers and walk. They leave the poo Pampers on the floor instead of walking 10 feet to the trash can. But I digress. But this has happened before. The fact that water's receding in India, Middle East, Europe, like in was it outside of Jerusalem, the water went down and they found carvings in ancient Hebrew and Aramaic and Islamic languages saying, this is if the water is this slow, there will be great sorrow. Okay, so Mad Chad, the hunger stone, and I'll pull one up because they're very interesting. A hunger stone is when there was a drought or some kind of a lack of water that resulted in a famine, and the rivers got really low. People were carving into the rocks at the base of the river. If the water gets this low, you will have a year of famine or whatever. And then, the water came back and it filled up. Well, now we're seeing these stones that they're dating back to the time of Christ and the pharaohs and the Egyptians. It's just, let me see if I can find the hunger stone. Because when I first read that, I thought it was bizarre, but apparently, here we go. Oh, this is a good picture. Hey, Tennessee Tactical, welcome. Hold on, it took off on me here. Here we go. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat too, so you guys can. Hold on a second here. So I'm going to try to. What's going on? I'm doing all right. Been a long week, but I'm still in one piece, so I can't complain. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to click on that or not, but so what are hunger stones? World or Germany and the Czech. Sorry, I lost connection there. Lack of the Elbe and the Rhine rivers has revealed one of the past almost forgotten hunger stones. Called Hungerstein in German, these stones are carved with warnings, some centuries old, related to the danger of famine brought by low river levels in the past. Okay. Let me see. 5 million freaking really wild. Some of them are going. They're finding them in. Let's see where they found them. So they're seeing them. That one, I'm looking at one that was dated in 668. This one is in Europe. And then there's one in the Czech Republic. I'm looking at the dates here. Or 1866. Then one was dated again in 1800s. But there's some 1620. Oh no, that's the Plymouth Rock. That's silly. Some are dated 1620. Yeah, they go back a ways. So it's interesting because it just proves that yeah, I saw that magic. So it's hold on, I got an alarm going off for absolutely no reason. Be gone. Anyway, yeah, so the hunger stones are basically yes, Green Thumb. Well, they're finding it at not just in the Euphrates. They're showing them in Europe. They're showing them in the Euphrates, in the Middle East, in the ancient parts of the world. Jerusalem, Egypt. All the biblical areas. They're seeing them in Greece. Supposedly, China has seen them, and then they had that massive flood, and now they can't see shit because everything's a mess over there. Uh, shootouts now in Chicago. Yeah. So, yes, we're going to see that increase in crime in a lot of places. Again, we've talked about it before. I think Vision and I and Mad Shad discussed it as well. You're going to see. Hey, Shorty, welcome. Oh, and I lost Shorty. There she is. Hello, Shorty. Um, yeah, it's pretty intense. They had massive snow and accumulation in the Northwest. Some of you guys were saying you're already seeing the snow and the rain, which is good because it's going to charge up those aquifers. But the ground hasn't seen that much water in a while, so it could also lead to flooding. So you might battle that as well. But yeah, we're part of a cycle. Now, are humans contributing? Yeah, definitely, because we keep screwing with shit we shouldn't. But these are also historical and biblical cycles that happen. They're just part of the earth, the way the world works. So they have to balance out, restricting what we're doing as humanity, versus not freaking out over things that are going to happen. No matter what we do, they're going to happen. Uh, so the Watchmen, you're absolutely right. And actually, I'm going to throw this one out to the audience. Are you guys seeing an increase in abductions in your area? Amber alerts and stuff like that, because that's something I've just my phone was blowing up last month and the month before with uh, a lot of kidnappings, a lot of abductions, the majority of which were female between the ages of 11 and 17. Keep in mind, they will not post let me see, hold on, I got a screen's freaking out here a bit. Bear with me just a second. Uh, they will not post an adult missing. So lots of missing persons in Cleveland. I believe it. I hear New York City is not being great. Still caught a couple trying to. No kidding. Mm. I drove 3 weeks ago and the barges are stuck. Yep, I saw that. Okay. Yeah, we got bombarded with them here in Texas last month. I couldn't go a week uh, without, battling something like that. I'll throw this out to. I'm going to throw this out to the chat. What you guys think? Because I think that's a good point for all of us. I'm just really curious. All right, so I'll throw it out there to all of y'all. Let me know if that thing pops up. There we go. Ken owns rights to that. Well, you see, Green Thumb, and that's the problem. As the water gets tight, they're going to start fighting. You're going to see the countries that have historically gotten along not getting along. Yeah. And the barges are stuck. Oh, that's right, because Tennessee, you're at like if I'm thinking roughly where you are, you're right in kind of like the middle of the Tennessee, if you the Tennessee of the Mississippi. And also you have a tributary through your state. So yeah, for sure. So Prepping survival, or are they just sawing them off? They're not removing them like a mechanic would, right? They're just going bzz, bzz with a power saw and then running off with them. Oh, wow. That was fast. So you guys are seeing a lot of theft. And I wonder if the theft and violent crime are going hand in hand, like they're trying to steal and then somebody catches them, so it gets violence. Um, which means you can't make someone believe, sadly. They have to walk their own path to faith, but the fact that they're not seeing any of it just tells you they're blinded by something, something beyond them. Uh, it's a sawzall here. Okay, that makes sense. Those are quick too, especially if you get a battery powered one and a good bit or a good blade. Sawzall, Diablo blade makes quick work of the converter. Yeah, I believe it. I drove to see Hutch and had to cross. Oh, you crossed the Mississippi, not the tributary. Yeah, I believe it. So the last time I was in New Orleans, if you on the riverboat on the base levels, right? So you're like 7 feet off the water. When you looked over certain parts of New Orleans, all you saw was the roof of houses because the water, so the levees had built up a river to where it was over the city. And my brother sent me a picture. I need to ask him to send me a picture, more recent one. But he said he took his daughter on the riverboat. They were going to get like hot dogs and just like mess off for a day. So they were sitting on the boat chit chatting, and he said you couldn't see the city anymore because the riverboat was so low at that far end of the Mississippi that all you saw was the levee, and you couldn't see the houses anymore, which is scary. I got my own off. ATV stopping in front of my house. What you need to do, you need two carbines, right? You need one for cleaning, and then the other one, condition one behind you, right? That way, if something pops off, you just have to gently reach behind, and magically you have stuff. So I'm quite excited because this month I will be training a shooter who's actually a professional person and very smart in the use of the Colonel Stoner's platform, if you will, the one that Mad Dog references. And that should be fun. This is a very technical guy, so I think he'll enjoy it. And if I catch some trust, okay, work boots 24/7. Oh yeah, we just got to give him a few quick kicks, and he got the Darwin Award. Oh wow. Well, things happen. That's hashtag pendejo right there. He failed. So there's your stats for this one, folks. Theft, violent crime, abductions, and other stuff. So I wonder if those two, the theft and violent crime, go hand in hand. Pop a condition one out of nowhere. Yeah, for sure. Oh, by the way, Mad Chad, the 226 I have is a single action only, which was a little bit weird for me. Basically, it's a 1911 SIG, but it's not a 1911. So I'll do a video. I have a video I'm working on for that one. It shoots like a champ. It has the match barrel and the upgraded trigger, so I'm super happy. But I'm not used to that. I'm used to the M9 where it was a double or single action, or a striker fired like a Springfield, and this one's kind of a weird thing to me. So yeah, definitely. And I'm hoping to do the same. I was gonna go. There's an IDPA shoot out here this morning. So I might roll out there. I can't shoot because I missed the deadline and I haven't competed in 10 years. So I'm going to sit and watch and talk to him and kind of figure out what equipment I need to do that effectively without getting disqualified. Uh, all right, man, you get going. Be safe, my friend. My bicycle. I need to replace the cat on my old BMW. I said, screw that. I replaced it with the straight pipes and a good muffler. Yeah. Ruger Mini 14 is a very cool. It's almost like someone left an M1 carbine and an M4 alone, and they had a baby, and that's what came out. So it's in-laws, violent crimes today. I believe it. It's getting pretty rough when you think about it. Uh, I'm gonna pop these in the chat because I don't know if certain people can see the stats. So take care, coffee. I'm gonna try. I gotta get a proper holster. I was doing because they have tactical bays, and I found if I go like Friday morning, if I play hooky from work for a couple hours, there's nobody there, right? They all show up like Saturday and they take everything up. So I roll in, I go to the rifle and pistol range, make sure my sights are on. I take over a tactical bay, and they have a 2-lane one or a 2-target one with the 15-foot berms, and I just back my pickup in and flip the tailgate down, and I can lay all my gear out right there. Um, but yeah, their murders, I'm hoping to. That would be fun. Take care, Vision. It's the gangs doing it. Yeah. All right. Much love. Be safe out there, girl. Be careful. Oh, they were going to use, the Ruger 14. Well, basically, it's like a baby M14. Now, why they got away from the M14, I don't know, because you shoot someone with that thing, that's suitable for small vehicles and aircraft, Yeah, down the purple streetlights on Spokane, they put them a block away. Uh, that's awful. Yeah, they're making a mess of everything. So, folks, I mean, we're going to continue to see this inflationary stuff going back to that. It's not going to be a surprise. I didn't have a really specific agenda for today's video other than to chit chat and kind of follow the conversation. But while you're while you're cooking, while you're doing your holiday preps, and when I say preps, like the meal preps for Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever it is you're celebrating, um, make sure to take some time and go through your inventory. That's a great time to do it because you've made a mess anyway, pulling everything out of the pantry. So move the new stuff to the back, old stuff to the front if you haven't done it already, and go inventory, see what you've got. Night vision, but in the city, yes. Wait, what's the purple lights? That's new. What is a purple street light? I'm super curious. What's a purple street light? When I was growing up, the only time you saw a purple street light was because the kids went and spray painted it purple, usually to the dismay of the local PD. But let's see, purple street lights. Let us know. We can fix it. Oh, okay, so it's a okay. So according to this, if you've taken a late night walk through your neighborhoods or driven around at night, you may have noticed some strange lights emitting from the street light. While the purple glow is coming from the lights, may be different. There's a reasonable explanation. Uh, the Duke Energy told WSOC that the purple lights are caused by a manufacturer defect in some of the LED lights. I'll throw this out there for y'all. Hey, Flyover State, what's going on? Mad Dog, uh, you're gonna stand alone binocular like a to Tennessee would shoot out the lights for staying low profile from the police. They're lying. Okay, but what is it? Like, what's the other? Because of course the energy company is going to say, is it they're trying to find, it says just call it in. That's really not, I think there's more to it, but I can't find it. Of course, it's Microsoft Bing, so it's going to kick me in the other direction, right? They said there's a defect that lights to detect the vax. Oh, that would be interesting. And I'm assuming it's the vax of new science, not the classical vaxes that have been around for like 50 years. That would be interesting. So basically, they would glow like jellyfish. That would be cool. Could you imagine? That would be cool as shit. I would never have to dress up for Halloween, right? I just put on a tank top and go in the dark light of the Halloween party. Then everyone would run away. But I have seen purple light is out. Okay. Oh, I need to look into that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, either that or it's a supply chain example again that they're getting garbage product because they don't have anything. Yeah, like a rave. Well, one person rave, that would be bad. Okay, Willow Way, take care. But yeah, we're right about an hour, boys and girls. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for joining me this morning. Again, this was very ad hoc. I was actually going to pre-record it, and then my morning kind of freed up, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go and say hi to folks in person. Um, this coming Thursday, I'm going to have a all Prepper Channel live stream from all the platforms. So I'm going to have at least one lady from TikTok. I'm going to have two from Instagram, including my personal armorer. She's a friend of mine and my wife, or her and her husband are, and we're also going to have my mother Spark in there. So it'll be four ladies from three platforms, all talking about prepping for families, women's self-defense, the 2A, the whole nine yards. So yeah, thank you, Tennessee. Thank you. Oh, that's interesting. You know what you can do? You take Tide, dishwashing liquid, and pour it on someone, and then go, hey, let's go under the purple light, see if you've been marked, and then they're going to glow because it glows in black light, and they're going to freak the hell out. That'll be funny until they figure it out, and then you're in trouble. But anyway, yeah. So y'all be good, get things done, be safe, enjoy the weekend, enjoy some time with your family. If nothing else, enjoy some coffee. I'm not a affiliate. I just like their mug. I like this part too. I don't know if y'all caught that. Believe it or not, my wife Sassy took this to work, and then the boss was like, "Yeah, that's not appropriate for work." So she just did this. Fine. Is it better now? I'll drink with my left hand. So I'm married to a smartass. Anyway, uh, you guys be good. God bless. Be safe, and I will see you guys later this week. And again, if you have a new channel on when I come up on Tuesday, if you're starting to put out product or content, let me know, and we'll start tagging you on those videos. So at least see if we can get you some viewers up front early. You guys be safe and take care of yourselves out there. I'll see you later.